that's being extremely mindful and present. But you also should be looking at, am I in balance? Are there areas in my life that I can shift things a little bit and feel more higher levels of consciousness and less lower energies? And when you achieve those higher levels of consciousness more consistently, you start to see the synchronicities. And as I said, I noticed these synchronicities happening years ago. I also noticed something quite phenomenal. I can remember one day driving down a highway that looking at trees that I've seen every day. And I thought, wait, why am I seeing these trees so much more clearly? I actually see colors when it was, not the time of year to see beautiful fall colors or anything like that. I actually am seeing the pine trees stand out more. Like everything seems so much more crisp and alive. And I kind of was really in awe of the beauty that surrounded me. And I called a friend not too long after, and I said, boy, I really just had this amazing experience. I know we had done a meditation the night before. We had done a certain type of energy meditation that was supposed to shift things. And I was so enamored by the meditation itself, and it just carried through the evening. I had a wonderful night's sleep. I got up the next day. I'm driving down the road, and I'm starting to see these more vivid, clear, crisper images around me. So, did anything change? Did I go to the doctors and get a new set of eyeglasses? No, I didn't. But somehow, from that meditation and clearing and balancing with that meditation and removing the lower energies, my perception of my reality became so much more vivid and crisp and alive. And it was like I kept having these amazing synchronicities as well that were just touching, and I've shared some of them throughout the years on the show. But I felt that, it was pretty amazing that I had this experience. And as I said, I called up a friend, and they were like, yes, this is what happens when you shift into that higher consciousness. And so I've kind of been in tune with that for years, and I've noticed, okay, things around me, my perception isn't showing that beautiful vividness, and, I'm not seeing the world and perceiving, even just looking outside at nature, I'm not seeing the beauty. I'm not seeing enough of that beauty. I'm not seeing the vivid crispness of that perception through my eyes. So maybe I'm a little unbalanced. And I oftentimes will look, okay, all right, now I know I have this stress going on, that stress going on, lots of stress accumulating. I need to get back in a space where I'm doing some self-healing and inner work and, shifting those thought patterns that are happening in my brain that are causing, and it's really not just, your eyesight and your perception. There's biochemical things happening in your brain because you are having stress thoughts. So I've talked about that quite often. If I'm not in a balanced state of being with inner peace and gratitude and all these wonderful mindfulness experiences in the present moment, it shifts your biochemistry. You start producing things in your brain, which so these thoughts produce the reaction in your brain, which causes a chain reaction in your body and starts to make you not feel so great. So it's perpetual. And it's important that you recognize it right away. You're in that knowing state that, you just draw your attention back to being in a higher consciousness, and those things tend to slide away. It's when we live in those lower energies or in that state of consciousness where you're not really aware of the balance or imbalances in your life, and you're not being in the present moment, that you start to see dis-ease start coming in, sliding in, and those synchronicities for negative things start to happen. So you are co-creating that experience. And I'm not saying, because I know sometimes I've been like, how could I co-create this predicament? How could I be there? And, like something negative comes up. Like, for instance, I had the experience with Lyme disease. And from that, this summer, in June, I actually had experienced Bell's palsy, which is my whole left side of my face, my eye I couldn't close, I couldn't smile. I couldn't eat right. I was drooling. It was an awful experience in June. And not only that, I was also hospitalized. I had spinal meningitis. So it was quite an experience. And I said, boy, how did I manifest this? How did I co-create this? And I kind of backed up and I said, you've been going. You weren't really taking care of your immune system. You weren't taking all your supplements. You weren't really in that space. Like, this is me talking to me, Coach Leah talking to me, saying, hey, like these areas of your life, you've been a little neglectful. So let's get it back in balance. And here I am today. I mean, fully functional. My face is working. I haven't had any reoccurrence. I totally whipped that Lyme disease in the butt. I have had Lyme disease before too, so it's kind of interesting that I actually had Lyme disease again. And what it's more interesting to me about is I really think that it was a total different strain of Lyme disease, because the first segment of Lyme disease that I had did not show up in a Western blot test, where this particular strain showed up in Western blot. And, it was kind of a fiercer, quicker experience with the Lyme disease than I had previously. But, I kind of had to shift my energy. I was in the hospital meditating the whole time. I said, I got to clear this. And, with a great medical team, I mean, I just had the most phenomenal medical team. And, my own self-healing, self-work, shifting the energies, holistic practices. I'm now here at the end of the year, 6 months later, and I feel great, and I'm really happy about that. And that's my own personal experience, that I had to, and actually I had conversations with my physician about this, who's an infectious disease specialist as well, and he was telling me, you have a good time here to shift things and create non-stress so that your body can heal and really be, back to normal. So with that, we're going to be taking a quick break. I just want to end that on that note. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about, some different things you can do for yourself to get in balance and be mindful and look at what your purpose is for 2019. So we'll be right back.
Come explore with us natural and healthy ways to achieve inner peace, happiness, and an ever-present state of well-being on the Mind Health Coach with Leah Marie every Friday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time on the Dream Vision 7 radio network. You're already healed. You just haven't realized it yet. When you're ready, you can change your mind and change your life forever. The power of a beautiful life is within you today. Are you looking for the keys to unlock the doors to excellent health, happiness, positive life experiences, success at work, wonderful relationships, and inner peace? You may think you won't ever find all of those keys that'll finally unlock the doors for good, but I can assure you that they're waiting to be discovered within you. The Mind Health Coach program helps you journey within and open those doors that are blocking your way to a beautifully balanced life. We help you find the most natural and healthy holistic practices that work best for you and your lifestyle. You're already healed. You just haven't realized it yet. When you're ready, you can change your mind and change your life forever. A beautiful life is waiting to be discovered within you today. To learn more about our program, visit mindhealthcoach.com.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back to the Mind Health Coach program. I'm Leah Marie, your host. You're listening to Dream Vision 7 Radio Network broadcast, and the Mind Health Coach program is aired every Friday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to learn more and for a full station broadcast schedule, go to dreamvision7radio.com. Visit my website, mindhealthcoach.com, for all the things that I offer. I want to talk a little bit about that now. I've been kind of leading up to this whole experience of self-inquiry and wondering about what's your purpose, like, why am I here? Who am I? And maybe, like I mentioned earlier in the show, your purpose changes. Like right now I feel that we all have to take a look at. It's like our responsibility as a human being. We've created this issue with our oceans and pollution with plastic, and it's time for each and every one of us to say, okay, I need to look at my responsibility in this, and how do I make shifts within my lifestyle to ensure that I am feeling good about what I'm doing to this planet that sustains us. So, that's kind of like where I'm at now, trying to help educate about that. And, I haven't taken any huge steps, but I feel like today's a good step because I'm talking about it on the show. And I want to talk about it more frequently. And I would like ideas from listeners on different products that are out there to help us sustain this planet better and get more away from plastic living. So that's kind of what I'm going through right now. But where are you at? What do you need help with? I mean, I've spoken to many people over the years. I've coached many people. I coach all the time, individuals via Skype or other internet applications, FaceTime. I've coached in person. And, I also coach my employees. I have a staff of over 300 people that, I'm working with all the time in the healthcare field. And, I'm always coaching not each and every one of these individuals, but I try to create a culture where they feel supported and that they have opportunities to step it up and live more purposefully and also quell the stress. I mean, that's been one of my major purposes for a long time, many years now. I've been talking about natural ways to undo stressful thinking and change your thought patterns. So I've become somewhat considered an expert on that. And, I help a lot of people, everybody from entrepreneurs to people that have been really traumatized or people that are going through shifts and transitions that are really difficult. Like, some folks that I deal with on a daily basis are very, very affected by the changes of their loved ones. And, I can think of a particular situation just recently. I went and I visited somebody in another state that was having the care that the company I work for that we provide. And this particular individual is a spouse of a loved one and that is declining and basically dying. And, they're not too old. They're not that old. So it's kind of like you're thinking, this is happening. I've got to take this on. I'm still young. I got to take care of this person that's kind of transitioning right before my eyes. And, that's what a lot of people choose to do because it makes them feel like, okay, I'm here, I've got this purpose, and I committed to this person. And yes, you love them and you care about them and you want to help them through this stage in life. And it's traumatic on so many levels. But what happens too in the meantime is you start taking care of yourself less and less. So I was there at the case a little while back, and I said, gee, I just want you to remember that you can't take care of your spouse until you take care of you. It's like that stewardess on the plane when they tell you need to put your oxygen mask on before you can put the oxygen mask on the person next to you. You're not going to be effective if you don't get a hold of taking care of yourself. So, I'm very passionate about helping people that are going through those kind of traumatic situations and transitions in life, but also just folks that are looking for more purpose. Like some of us get stuck and we feel like, how can I see that vivid color as I'm driving down the road of what there is for gifts from humanity, from nature available to me? How do I perceive the world differently? How do I feel inspired? And, I really kind of hit a lull, and I feel like I've done it all. I often think about these folks that kind of achieve these high heights of unbelievable things in their life, and then they suddenly seem like they're depressed. Like, somebody like Kate Spade, who had a wonderful line of products. People love her designer items, and then suddenly she commits suicide. Why? Why? And you